The impact for the market, and I've talked about the public, but actually the public includes all clients and those who procure legal services. What are we going to get? We're going to get competition for business. No longer can lawyers sit back and just think that the business is going to walk through the door somehow, someday, because it used to, and it always will, won't it? No, it won't. Competition. Loyalty to brands and brand values, something else law firms typically don't get. Differences in complaints handling. For most of these new entrants, complaints are a cost of doing business. They're not a threat to their legitimacy. They're not something to be beaten down. They're not something to be thrown away. They're an opportunity to put a smile on somebody's face. Again, very different attitude. Buying power and scale economies will give these new entrants the ability to present something very different to the marketplace. Innovation in delivery. A different type of geographical dispersion, I think, not just fragmentation all around with little pockets of lawyers, but geographical dispersion of brand, consistency, predictability, certainty. Virtual access, yes, go online, get it that way. More consumer-focused, user-friendly, accessible, and the use of standardization and even commoditization where that makes sense. To scale up, to reduce the uncertainty, to increase the consistency and the continuity of the service. Real prize to be had. I think we will see bundling and one-stop shops. I can't see why we wouldn't. This is an opportunity to present something different to the marketplace. If the market can be persuaded to buy, and it will like some bundles, not all of them, they will happen. And I think we will get cheaper and higher quality. That's the real conundrum for a lot of lawyers. The only way you can make things cheaper for a lawyer is to do less or do it badly. So you can't have high quality and cheap. You, client, have got to make a choice. Well, I think the new market will say your choice is to have cheaper and better quality. Come to us. The sting in the tail. I did say that not everything needs to be done by lawyers. And it's a little known fact that not every legal service has to be provided by someone who is legally qualified. There is a vast amount of legal work currently done by lawyers that doesn't have to be done by lawyers. So one of these new entrants can say, actually, I don't want to go into the regulatory territory. I don't want the burden of regulation. I don't want to compete with all these regulated providers. Roughly 80% of what lawyers do is not a reserved activity. In other words, it doesn't have to be done by lawyers. So 80% of the market is potentially open to people who want to deliver those non-reserved legal services who don't have to be regulated. In fact, if they're not lawyers, they cannot be regulated. So I've described pretty much 20% of the market that's up for fundamental reform. There's still 80% potentially out there that could evolve in any number of different ways. So what have lawyers got to get right in all this? They've got to scope their work. They've got to understand what it is the client wants. They've got to price it effectively, and they've got to deliver it efficiently. What are they bad at? Scoping, pricing, and efficiency. And one of the reasons they're bad at it is because sometimes the client doesn't know what it is they want doing. And lawyers can't price it because the clients don't really understand the value to them of what they want the lawyer to do. And they can't judge efficiency because they don't understand the legal process. So yes, I might beat up lawyers, and I do, you probably noticed. But actually there is another side to this equation, and part of it is procurement and part of it is client. Until all of that comes together and understands what it is the client needs and why, and how to price that effectively to deliver value, we don't get anywhere in terms of a long-term sustainable legal business. And it doesn't matter whether you're a law firm, a new entrant, or an unregulated provider. But fun ahead, it's going to be a very different marketplace. Thank you.
Very good.